on, play it. Play it.
It's gonna be bad anyway.
All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. And while we're kind of doing this really quick, get these all glitched. Every single YouTube page glitched. Ruined my intro. But meanwhile, let's get started here. Open up the 25th here. August 25th, 2024. Okay, and while that's loading up, and take a moment here to thank you for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. Okay, I think you've figured it out by now. And for those who haven't, stick around to the end of the show when we do our spiritual report. You'll learn more. Okay, for those with eyes that see, I'm just going to let that play there for a minute. Hi, Tinfoil Hat. Haven't seen you in a moment. Okay. Talking to someone in the chat. I don't wear a tinfoil hat. Although that probably wouldn't be too bad of an idea. It would kind of, some of this radiation reflects some of the radiation. Not for the other reasons. You guys indulge in those other reasons all on your own. You don't even need a hat. Oh, I'm trying to catch this opening frame here. All right, so here we are. Opening frame 024, 825, 2024. Okay, see it up there, August 25th. All right, as we open up here, you can see we have an ongoing event up here. Okay, and then something still flying out this way with our V-shaped type little structure, little wings are almost like a wake going around it right now at this juncture as we hop into the opening frame. Now, some of this we looked at last night here as we took a little sneak peek. And you can see something going on here, bending light, okay? There's something wrapped, there's a little object right there, and plasma starting to bend around it. Meanwhile, we got this thing shooting out, that thing going up, and another one trailing out with the, well, kind of like the crisscrossing magnetic field lines here, this crochet of magnetic field lines. Meanwhile, there's that one. And then what looks to be, this one's a little different, but I'll let you be the judge of that. And then those ones, go ahead and move on through. And then we have another blast right here. You can see over on this side, your dark little round area right here, circular object with plasma going around it. This side's kind of washed out with all the, well, with all the black and white. You can't make out a lot of the, symmetry, but you can see this little guy sneaking through and something else over here. Now, what had happened here, you can't really, here, let me back up a few frames here. Okay. I'll zoom in on this frame up here. You see this bending light right here? What had happened is the object started interacting here and shifted and moved like this. So when we put this back into motion, watch this object, it's up here now, actually starts out in this position and shifts and moves, and you'll see it move when it's in motion. Okay, so just kind of point that one out really quick while we're going through these frames. Oops, bear with me. Okay, you can see another little bow shock, something growing right here too, but there was that little object that kind of came out and arced and left this bending arc right here. Okay, so we're going to continue right on through that. Then, as you can see, we got something going on over here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and zoom on in here. Here's our round object right there. Okay, and you can see the magnetic field around it or whatever's interacting also with the sun. And then it's right on this spire. You see this big spire that we've been watching for a while? It's starting to react now that this thing's moving, interfacing with it here. Let me pull back 125 and scooch. I wish it would just stay right at one spot. All right. So now you see this event kind of stretching out here. We got some kind of spread coming here. See this spread right here? This could possibly be some of the moons or satellites just outside the, right before a bigger event there. Okay, and that was our closing frames right there. Now I'm going to put this back into motion and watch for this little guy up here. See how he moves out? And then a secondary wave comes and pushes it some more. So what we'll try to do is, I want to zoom in on that while it's in motion. There we go. See the second wave, give it a little shove. It comes out, peels off, and kind of slows down. Then another one hits it and shoves it more. Okay. I'll let that run a couple more times real quick. Thank you, Hopkinson, for liking and sharing. That blesses the people who see this, and it blesses you as well. Okay, so here's all your strange activity, and you can see that thing come out and then turn. All right, NASA, explain that. Any other solar channels, please explain that. You can't unless you know what's really going on there. Okay, how is light bending? Anybody ever gonna address that subject when it comes out and then just changes direction? This is the sun, you guys. Hello. It's just like nobody paying attention or what? For me, it's like basic, but everybody else kind of refused to address this. What's going on there, huh? But, well, that's why you come to this channel, because I will address this subject. Okay. And you guys are pretty mature adults here. You got eyes that can see. Well, look, open your eyes and check out what's going on. What do you think is causing that? What's bending light? What's changing the direction of the flow of the CME? The CME comes out and then all of a sudden says, "Oh, wait, a left turn." No, there's something there bending it, causing it to do that. And it's one of these little moons. You can see these things coming in and approaching down here. You see motion moving in towards the sun. So some of these little trailing objects are probably getting attracted to the sun. They're hitting a magnetic barrier line, bouncing off, ricocheting, and doing little arcs. Yeah, NASA, you guys got some splaining to do. Like, where's my money? Where's my taxpayer money? All right, I guess it went to this instrument, I guess. But there you go, folks. There's your activity for today. Now let's come on over to the solar ham here and get this done too. First off, our solar flux indice is kind of hovering right around the same area. It's only up 1 point, so 233. It was 232. So it's only up 1 point. Sunspot number count up 6. Okay, we're climbing close, getting closer to the red there. Meanwhile, area doesn't really matter right now. Let's get over to this. Zoom in for you guys. And go, what's his name? Oh. All right, now as we look over here, 3790. Remember this big bad boy when it first came off the limb on the other side? Now it's finally leaving. It's almost to the limb here. Meanwhile, 3796 got some distance between the two polarities there. 3800, our oddball that's way down here to the south, is still streaming stuff down this direction. It's actually streaming stuff that direction, not not straight out at us, not down that direction. It's pulling and streaming back that way. 37.99. That was your heart-shaped structure one, I think. Barely starting to get this weird little polarity at the end right there. Okay, and what was this one up there? Oh, 37.93. So there's your sunspot structure type going on right now. All right. So this is your weird one, really low latitudes or very far away from the equator. Okay. So now let's back on out of that, slide on over and scroll on down and see how fluxed we are. All right. There's your x-ray flux for today, and what doesn't look too bad of a day, you know, a little bumpiness here and there, but that's only what's between the sun and the instrument. A lot of that activity flares off in different directions, doesn't hit this instrument, so this doesn't necessarily reflect the activity of the day. Okay, but there's your x-ray flux. We're kind of climbing a little bit here going into the next day. Shoot, we're almost, that's not an M flare. That's like an M mountain or something like this. It's trying to climb up. It looks like our solar flux indices just kind of taking some stairs and going climbing up. And that's going into tomorrow right there. And we could take a peek at this if you'd like, but most of the time you guys don't want to. So I just come over here to this instrument and I pick out the day right here. And since you guys don't want to, I just do it anyway. All right, here we go. A little peek into tomorrow, and you can see our flare, our spire region right here, you know, growing and starting to get a nice point on it. This one's starting to increase too. There's a spread growing right in here. You see this little thing spitting out. So something looks to be coming off of this side of the sun here pretty soon. Anyways, there's a little peek into tomorrow there already. Okay, and you can see the increases because this and this thing's shooting out here. We got something else coming here, I think. All right, so there's a little peek into the future. All right, there's your activity right there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and back on out of this. 110 on that. Thank you. All right, so our geomagnetic forecast for the next 3 days, still all zeros. I don't know about that as far as the 26th tomorrow being, well, we're supposed to get an impact from a CME, and there was an object that, you know, came along with this. So if we get a G1 tomorrow, don't be surprised. And even more, don't be surprised if it's stronger than a G1. Okay. And we'll get to that in another article here in just a minute. Meanwhile, X flare potential 15 now. That's good. It's lowered. M flare is lowered, but that might change here because we're the flux itself is almost up at M flare, so that might change here pretty soon. Meanwhile, all of our sunspots, they're all beta gamma. Not all of them, but the dangerous ones, there's no delta configuration, so that's okay. That's good. We'll have to watch the oddball one, the 3800 beta gamma, and it's still growing, okay? So that's our oddball to watch right there. Meanwhile, our geomagnetic field is a little unsettled, but not bad because it's all way under KP2. All right, so we're not taking on a bunch of energy right now, just the solar winds kind of making the auroras glow a little bit there. All right, below is a look at the visible sunspot regions on Saturday. That's the article from yesterday, and let's just move through these. Here's an updated one going that way. Okay, this is the one that was showing impact coming at Earth yesterday. Okay, so the other CME that we just saw kind of heading that way, not going to make any kind of, Earth-directed component in it. Okay, let's move on over to spaceweather.com. CME is not a big one, but the CME was hurled towards Earth on the 23rd. Okay, this is still the same article, but a puny C6 class solar flare. All right, they might eat those words later because this little C6 might produce more than just a G1. Okay, we'll see. I pray that it's a G0. Okay, I would rather be wrong and not have a G3 or a G4, okay? I'd rather have G0 and be wrong and have this thing be correct. but I showed you the CME that's already heading our way that from that day. And just as a reminder, what shows up on the 26th usually left on the 23rd. Let's take a peek at the 23rd just one more time. See that big spread, that big object right there, and then what comes out down here at the south here in just a second. That right there might be coming our way. All right, so it doesn't look like much, but hidden in there, now that it's rolling, moving, watch closely. All right, so there's some kind of component with that that's coming our way right there. Okay, so that's why I say we could experience more than just a G1. It might be a little higher. Okay, and it won't surprise here. Okay, that's why I'm kind of saying that, because if it does, then it won't surprise. You'll understand why. If it doesn't, I'll be thankful it doesn't. Okay, I'm not all about trying to be right. I'm just trying to get you guys ready to go when this stuff happens. Okay, there's your Schumann for today. Anybody recognize that? Does that kind of match your day today? Because it does. There's intense grinding going on. We had a big tapering here, and then it almost stopped, and then we had another extreme blast there. Extreme, like, stop right there. So this could be an interaction. We'll see. Meanwhile, we have all this little grinding here. So your 7.83, there was no point at today where you had like any kind of peace for a split second right there. All right, but most of this was just roller coaster ride again. Let me refresh for the latest data to see what's going on in the last. See these last little white bars that are just growing right now? 1, 2, and then this white one growing right at the end right there, 3. Okay, so welcome to the roller coaster ride. Okay, guys, you're actually doing pretty well, handling it pretty well. I suggest you kind of unplug from the news a little bit. That's what gets you guys going a little bit too. So, meanwhile, indication of pressure down below. This affects your mood, affects the animal's moods, affects other people. So you might see other people step out of character, and you're going to have to be that light that shines and helps them recover their day so they can go about dealing with this in the background. Okay. And we did have a fair amount of pressure grow right there. Okay, and then boom, we had a big pressure and then drop. And you'll see what happened here in a little while. All right, now let's come on over here. Meanwhile, we have our 3 storms over here in the Pacific. This one finally kind of cleared Hawaii, moving out. This one, category 3 right now. And then this one being even bigger and stronger. We'll see what happens there, but yeah. There's your storms there off of Hawaii. Look at that. Oh. All right. And then we come over to here. Oh, good Lord, who put acid in the internet? All right, there you go. Major typhoon just about to strike Japan here, the South Island, this area of Japan. Okay, so they're under the gun. Everybody in here brace for impact. And then I think that was about it. Now, we have had a major structure change over here, and we're going to get into our sandstorm report here. Particulates to our sand. Okay. Now, let me pull back right about there. It's good. Okay, you can see our sand plume going up, coming down. We got the curl Q effect, right? Our southern flow is coming up and pulling stuff off like this. See how it's coming up and ripping sand off of the coast there. All right, now let me take the wind out of there really quick. Thank you, Lord. All right. And now it's reached all the way across over here into the Pacific. These storms are actually pulling that sand across here, and it's interacting with these storms, keeping the the velocity, the intensity, the power of the storms down a little bit. Okay. Now you can see we got a little dip right in here. We'll probably get a little break right in there. So we might see a couple storms form in there. We'll see. Let's just pray it kind of keeps doing the same effect it's been doing this whole time. Meanwhile, over here, this region is getting all socked in with sand. And you could see, ooh, you can actually see the slit in that eye. I mean, in that sandstorm right there. And then this sandstorm over the Caspian Sea. This whole region filling in with sand pretty intensely right there. Okay. And then that's going to affect all their weather and stuff too. You've already seen all the different effects of weather coming out of this region and stuff. But yeah, I would get out of there, man. You see the nostrils on this sucker, man. It's a dragon. I'll show you the dragon tonight too, in the spiritual realm. All right. So let's just bang this out really quick and get to the other spiritual realm report. Chemicals really quick. We've got to do an SO2 because they're telling people in England do not go outside because of the SO2 plume that came off of Kamchatka or off of Iceland here and went right for them. All right. This doesn't even show the veracity of the plume that's heading towards them. But meanwhile, let's come on over here really quick. Start off with our country divided. You can see it bleeding out on one side, clear, well, patchiness on the other. Okay. Stick a fire report in there real quick. Ding dong. All right. We get fires from SO2 coming out of the ground. It's so hot that it sparks vegetation around the emission site and causes fires. Okay, so there's your SO2. This activity was mainly up in Canada. Now it is, snuck down into the lower 48. You can see this site right here having quite the intensive plume event and intensive fires right in the area. What a coincidence. There are no coincidences. Everything is part of the grand design. Over here, you can see we're getting a little fire activity there. That's the one up in Wyoming, okay, I think. Yeah, because here's Salt Lake City. Now, this seemed to be, well, we have a fire, and we have this huge SO2 plume. I showed you the fire, supposed fire cloud, right? The plume of smoke that looked more like a volcanic eruption to me than, well, I've seen some wildfires. It could be either one, but boy, with this huge emission plume and a fire at the same time at that spot, that looked like a volcanic eruption to me. And it's out there right next to Yellowstone, and that's why they probably wouldn't tell you. Even if it was one, they wouldn't say it. They just, oh, I got a wildfire. Caught a wildfire on a volcano. Wonder what happened there. Meanwhile, this plume over here kind of getting intense. All right, little spot fires, but this one definitely is caused by your SO2 emission site right there. Some of that activity kind of creeping down into Southern California. It was even going down into Baja, Mexico, but that is retreated and was kind of creeping easterly. But that activity has retreated now too. It's just basically this spot and this spot right now. A couple other spots struggling around. Oh, none. There we go. Okay, hang in there, you guys. We're getting there really quick. Mexico, Cuba, Jamaica, South America, Fulcrum Point. Okay, pretty solid tonight. All kinds of SO2 emissions down the coast of South America. This huge plume SO2 going out. All right, this relieves pressure along the plate boundary along here, keeping magnitudes down. Okay, coming on over. What face do we got today? No face. Good. All right, so And here is Hawaii, the hub of the Pacific Rim. If the Pacific Rim were like a bicycle rim, this would be where all the spokes meet, in the hub. All right, SO2 emissions coming out of the Oahu, they're still good. Meanwhile, Hawaii needs to see more SO2 emissions. You can see how the storm went through there. It's taken this plume and has wrapped it around a little bit here. If I go like that, maybe a little bit better. What's wrong with my camera? Is it on the screen? Nope. All right, well, you can see where how it's taking that SO2 up. All right. Then we are going to come on over here and we're going to adjust for their daytime. All right, so there's their emissions, still very, very concentrated. I want to take a peek here at Taiwan. The purple island almost to Taiwan now. See how it's turning more like Java, almost all purple. So we haven't had a lot of quake activity in that region, but the SO2 emissions, well, we did have some quake activity. It was kind of sporadic and sparse, but it did relieve pressure in that area, and it was enough to make the yellow in that other map disappear. And SO2 emissions doing the job right there, coming on down here to Java. This is where the SO2 emissions are very concentrated, relieving a lot of pressure. So the relief valve of Java doing its job as well. And where is the right sweet spot? Right there or something? Maybe? Something bumped up against this. All right, there we go. Java, Sumatra, all relieving a lot of SO2 in that region. Here's India with its issues. It's turning into China almost, with a lot of darkening in the region. They've had some concentrated sites that keep blowing, the winds keep blowing it up against the Himalayas, and it won't pass over the Himalayas, so it gets trapped in this area and gets more concentrated. And India's slowly darkening in. Meanwhile, over here, there's problems. They got all kinds of SO2 emissions coming out. They got all kinds of problems there. You saw that set of eyes that was looking at them, all right? Now we come over here and just kind of looking around at Europe. I don't see anything too major today, but quite some interesting activity we were seeing in that region, in the spiritual realm, huh? Almost looks like an alligator or something today, but anywho, keep moving. All right, there's that. Now we're going to do, just really quick here, we got to do a different chemical. It's a particulate SO4. We just did SO2, which is sulfur dioxide. This would be sulfur quad oxide. It's got 4 oxygen atoms per molecule, okay? This comes out of the ground. It's also man-made, but that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is how much of it is around the world. You see, it's all over the place, right? And volcanoes emit this, man-made stuff as well. But this SO4 particulate, instead of adhering to the water particle, it bonds with it. It doesn't adhere to it. It actually bonds with water and turns it into a different chemical. And when you mix SO4 with H2O, you get a chemical compound called H2SO4, which is better known as sulfuric acid. And with higher moisture content in the air now and higher SO4 concentrations in the air now, you're looking at a world of sulfuric acid. Gets caught up in the storms. Your storms come rolling in. You see the storm fronts like this. It picks up this gas. Well, this gas mixes with the water in the air, and you're getting sulfuric acid rain. All over the world, too. Okay, we got to move on, though. Now we can do the ocean report. Everybody take a deep breath. You're getting better at this. You guys don't need the deep breath anymore. You're pretty good. Getting tough with There's your structure out on the Atlantic. Boom, 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 boom. Still more of this big yellow bar. Little pop-up head there. Okay, over here. This is some good news. Semi-good news. This patch, the comma patch, has kind of lessened in intensity. It was a lot yellower last night, but this over here, something opened up over here, stole the pressure, and now our yellow bar that was Tamumasi here is kind of reaching more this way towards our bulge. Okay, but there's still that face looking at these spots right here on the coast, and they did not change. Okay, they actually, they're more intense than this area is now. Do you see that? Okay, we'll have to address this tonight. We're due for a big quake in that area. If we don't see some kind of medium quake activity, we don't see, pressure kind of release, SO2 emissions from volcanoes that are inland here, earthquake activity, any kind of stress relief out of that region would help. We got all this wonderful AI, and you can't get one digital camera to take a perfect image of a digital screen. Huh? What's up with that? All right, wavy lines. I don't know if you. Right about there. Well, otherwise, I have to download all this stuff and Streamlab and OSC, and then wouldn't be able to even do the show. So there we go. Maybe not. I think doesn't matter. Everybody's looking at the yellow bar, right, Brian? Oh, it just irritates me. I'm trying to get a quality show for you guys. All right, this area right here is the area of concern because now we're going to open up our earthquake, do our earthquake report real quick, and we'll wind up over at that area and finish up talking about that area. Now, let's come on over here and talk about our big quake. I showed you on this human that we had a big pressure spike and then a big release. Bing. So here's your pressure release, a 6.9 down at 106. What do we do with nines at this place? Come on. This thing was probably a little stronger, maybe 7.1. Let's open up the tsunami thing just to see what NOAA says. Maybe it was. Hey, it was a 4.8. Never mind. Yeah, look out for that 4.8 magnitude tsunami. Okay. So, a deep 7. Oh, no, that's not it. Right here. They changed the depth on this? This was a little deeper earlier. All right, so a 7 here. Tsunami warning, no tsunami. A 6.1 right there down at 106. And then our 5.3 right there. 4.4 down at 555. This was a deeper quake, I thought. But what I want to do is take you into these quakes right here. Oh, looky here. It's a volcano, all right? And the quake, the 7, is right on the rim of the volcano. Do you see this? Do you notice something else in the picture here really quick? I'm going to take that off there. Just kind of centralize this picture, see if you notice anything else in the picture there. Oh, you do. You see that up there? You see this right here? All right, everybody. All right, class. What is this coming out right here? What kind of gas is this right here? Very good. SO2. Oh, look, there's a little ploof right there. It just went poof. And then some SO2 came out right before the satellite came by and took a shot. So, SO2, earthquake activity, on a volcano. Pressure being released at a volcano site. This was a little deeper earlier, I think. But then, if you look down a little farther away, this would just be off the flank of the volcano. The flank is like right here. Or this little ridge, actually, this would be the flank right there. So just a little bit off of that ridge right there is our other 6.1. Big time pressure releases right there with SO2. And this one, tack that on there as well, 5.3. So we saw some good energy being relieved, a big pressure release right there in that area, which is good. Then we have our normal mid-range 4 deep region quake that sends 5 energy into this region. We have SO2 emissions out of that island, nullifying a lot of that. But then you come up to here, every once in a while, we get activity on the land, 5.1. There it is. Down at 96, too. That's more volcanic activity, but that's your 5 pressure coming through the area. Nothing in this deep pit right here, but just above it is, well, look at that, another 5.2. Over here, 4.3. Nothing right through there, but just off the plate boundary inside this little deep pocket, you see these pressure ridges that have built up right there from, eons of pushing against this and not going anywhere. The pressure builds back up behind this. You got a 4.7 in that weak zone right there at the surface, relieving energy. It's scrubbing energy at the surface. If anybody follows like racing, the term scrubbing means like reducing speed. You scrub speed by swerving or, other than using your brakes. You could do, zigzag back and forth to scrub speed. Okay. Well, this is scrubbing energy. It's like reaches the surface and finally releases that energy. Now, here's our oddball quake right here. 5.4, another 5 range magnitude quake. Now, this is a very interesting plate boundary right here. You see how this is all round and turns around right here? And then this crack forms and goes out like this. All right, this is all like one big plate right here. See, this is all one big plate with a crack that runs right up to the Straits of Gibraltar. Okay, this is a weak zone right through here because it's a crack. It's not a plate boundary, all right? This is all one big plate here. This is a crack reaching back through there. All right, it doesn't make contact with this one. So you see this up and down motion, the fulcrum points of this crack, energy being directed here, wants to go in a straight line. So off of that straight line, that's pretty much a fulcrum point quake. It's not right on it. It's at the surface or just subsurface, 17.5. So it's not a diverse quake because of the fault line right there and the fulcrum, but definitely a place to start watching now, huh? Boy, if I were people in Portugal, I'd be a little nervous knowing that we have a weak spot right off the coast right there. Okay, let's go Kamchatka 4.9. You know what we do with those. It's the longest list in the world. Is magnitude 4.9 in the USGS. All right, let's get on over here and go ahead. All magnitude. Sorry, I'm just kind of robotic going through the motions here. 3.6 down at 35. No little small quakes through here today. That's good. Well, not good, but just notable. Okay. Little flurry up here, fulcrum point stuff. You can actually see the quakes riding the shape of the fulcrum. They go up and down. So these quakes are actually perfectly aligned pretty much with our pressure in the region. Right on the plate boundary, though, is 2.3 and 2. All right. Well, I'll take this. There's a little bit of quake activity inland here. You're seeing quake right here at the top of Rainier, a quake at the top of St. Helens here. Just like we saw a quake at the top of the other volcano. Wonder what's going on. Finally, some activity. It's not much, but 2 and a 1.6. We need a lot more activity than that coming out of that region. All right. It wouldn't be too bad. Well, I don't know if we could stand a quake in this plate boundary anymore because it's getting lubricated by that lava or hot water. It could be super hot water that's coming out, trapped in the different strata in the crust. Water trapped in different layers of the crust. Okay, our geysers here. A lot of microquaking. Good. Relieving pressure in the region. Still this activity out here going on. Bingo. 2.2s. All right, nothing too bad. Okay, so energy kind of little weak spots starting to show themselves here and there. Meanwhile, look at the plate boundary going down California. Bing, 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 bing. 5 in a row. That's good. And they're not powerful ones. They're all just little 1.8s, but that's good activity. That relieves stress right there. More energy being scrubbed. 2.1. All right, down here at our little quake swarm area. Oh, good. It's still kind of microquaking here. It's still scrubbing energy. All right. Okay. All right. As we go down through SoCal here, our biggest magnitude, 2.5 at Borneo Springs. Still kind of watching this area through here. No little quake swarming down by this area at all. Get that one off of there. Ooh. Almost didn't do a show tonight. Sorry. I'm a little tired. 3.0 here in Texas at the surface. But I wanted to be here for you guys. So there's a 2 there in Oklahoma, another 2 here. 2.2. And then here's your Craton. Bing, 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 bing. And right on the edge of your Craton, you got your 1.9 down at 4.2. Okay, so coming down here to our Cocos Plate area, 4.5, but this is on land in Mexico. 4.5 or 4.4, sorry, there in El Salvador. Right here on the plate boundary, you're 4.8, and then here's another bigger magnitude quake, a 5.8 at the surface here, scrubbing energy around the Cocos Plate. That's good. A lot of pressure under that area. It's got to get relieved, so I'd rather see it mid-range 5s like that than anything else. Here's a big jump in magnitude out here, okay? We're used to seeing 2.5 to 3, and now here we saw 4.8 out here. So, do you notice? Do you see all the increase in magnitude all over the place? Good. Boom, 4.4 there, and 4.6 there. Okay, keeping the magnitudes down along this plate boundary right here because all the SO2 emissions. All right, so there is your quake report. Ding, ding, ding. Let's move on. Get us a volcano report out of the way. And then we'll go to the weather in the spiritual realm of the clouds. Do you see 34 and 33? 34 and 33 is 67. We have some new ones on the list, don't we? Okay, so volcanoes today. If I had told you there was going to be this many volcanoes 7 years ago, you would say I'm crazy. And here we are. And I'm still crazy. Crazy about you. Now, can we have the volcano page? Oh, you know what? I didn't close out all the other ones. That's why it's taking so long. Abu, satellite image of Ebu? Oh no, this is a new one. Abu. All right, we got here's our new one right here. ABU. 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 However you want to pronounce it. As volcanic ash, no height or anything, but on the list, Abu and Ebu and IBU at 10,000 feet now, not 8,000. We jumped a couple thousand feet, guys. Luatobi, 8,000 though. Semaru, probably its typical 15. White Island, 3,000, scaring the shit out of the elite. The poor people of New Zealand, too. I feel for the people in New Zealand. I love them. They're great people. They don't need to have a bunch of criminals invading their criminal island. Katmia. Katmaya? Another new one right here to watch. Fuego. 15,700 feet. 14.8 to 15.7, okay? In Nevada del Ruiz, Reventador 15,000, and Sabancaya at 25. And that was just in the last few minutes. That's just, here's today. Let's go into today, which is, well, now yesterday, because, well, time flies at this channel. And time flies when you're having fun. So if you're watching the clock some one of those days and you're just like, the clock's just not moving, try having fun and time will fly. And the next thing you know, work will be over. Svarensky, still going. Here's your big old, it was the big old curtain. It's kind of lowered in its overall pressure. And now there's, individual little spouts still going though. Ebu, 6,000 feet there. Luatobi, 9,000 feet. Semaru, 14. Ducono, 9. White Island, low-level eruption. Fuego, Nevada del Ruiz, Songay. Yeah, no VAs on those. And Sabancaya at 26,000. Okay, these lists do not get desensitized that this is normal activity. This is off the hook, insane activity. All right, we used to have one volcano. We are at 67. All currently erupting on this side, all with potential to erupt at any moment over here. Okay, or they're active already. Spewing steam, ash, whatever, no big, huge, but every once in a while when a round of pressure comes in, one of these things will go and hop over onto the active list. Okay, this is... Okay, let's move on, because that is just disturbing. Maybe not for you. If you don't grasp the importance of the situation, then it doesn't affect you so much. And you understand a little deeper level, that kind of activity can be a little unnerving. So that's why we're going to wrap up this weather report really quick and get into our spiritual report. So while this is loading up, I'm going to take a sip. Thank you guys for being so tolerant and patient and waiting. Hopefully you enjoy part of the show, okay? And learning stuff. All right. Just let all these load up and we'll do a Quick little weather report. With so much ash, so much particulates, SO4, SO2, we got all these stuff in the air. We have higher moisture content, higher moisture percentage because, well, oceans are evaporating, all the heat plumes, okay? So you got more water content and more particulates, which add up to more raindrops, more heavier rainfalls, stronger storms, blah, blah, blah. Current conditions, night of the 25th. As we go into the morning of the 26th, depending on our CME that hits us and any kind of geomagnetic enhancement, could be taking effect right there, possibly. But there's noon, convection. Look up here on the coast over here at noon and at convection. So if we do have geomagnetic storm enhancement, it could enhance this up here. Anything along this line could see enhancement. We're at convection. We're starting to see pop-ups there. And then there's nighttime. Okay, so tomorrow night, tomorrow during the day, we're going to have to watch what the geomagnetic storm coming in. If it does anything, if it's a G0, weather will probably go along these lines right here. But if it's G1, G3, whatever, it could intensify that. This might not be so, open and clear during the noon hours. And then when you get convection, this convection could blossom a little harder throughout these areas and definitely harder by then. If that G storm happens. If not, that'll be your effects right there at the nighttime of the 26th. Still chances for severe weather without any kind of enhancement, all right? So don't get caught off guard. Even if there's no G3 storm, you still have the chances here for severe weather right through that region up in there. Okay. Oh, no. I hate it when that happens. So there's convection. Oh, wait, we went too far there. There's convection of the 26th and nighttime the 26th. Let me slide a little better. Okay, morning of the 27th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 28th, noon, convection, nighttime. 29. See this comma shade thing taking form there. Watch out, Canada. That's morning time, 29, noon, convection, nighttime. That's 3 days out. Okay, so this is about as far out as accuracy goes. So that might happen. We'll have to kind of watch this as we get closer to it. Severe weather hitting that region up there in Minnesota, Wisconsin, going into like Michigan area here in the morning of the 30th, noon, convection, nighttime, 31st, noon, convection, nighttime. 1st, noon, convection, nighttime. See how everything comes up here, blossoms up. This area is going to see some flooding and some issues here because it keeps doing it over and over again. That's the nighttime of the 1st, morning of the 2nd, noon, convection, nighttime. Did it again. Morning of the 3rd, noon, convection, nighttime. Did it again down in Mexico. Morning of the 4th, noon, convection, nighttime. Did it again. Morning of the 5th. Watch out there. This is so far out, but noon, convection, nighttime. Did it again. Morning of the 6th, noon, convection, nighttime. Did it again. Morning of the 7th, noon, convection, nighttime. Did it again. Morning of the 8th, noon, convection, nighttime. Did it again. Morning of the 9th, noon, convection, nighttime. Again, noon. Morning of the 10th, noon, convection. And that's all she wrote. All right, let me hit the play button. Watch this area right there just over and over and over and over and over again. I wouldn't be making a run for the border right now. and probably need a boat. Look at that, just over and over, just severe weather after severe weather after severe weather. All right, so there's your astrophysics, geophysics, and now let's get on to your spiritual report and what people would call metaphysics. The how you work. I showed you how the planet and the universe works, and I'm going to teach you how you work. All right. But before that, we're going to take a little waltz through the spiritual realm in the clouds. So let's get started by doing this really quick. You guys all good with that for a minute here? Good. Come on over to here. Did you guys see the face in the thumbnail there? The face in the clouds in the thumbnail? That's not my photo. That's somebody else capturing faces in the clouds as well. And when this all seems like hocus pocus, fake until you actually capture a face in the clouds yourself and you see this activity, that's when your jaw will drop and you will take me seriously. Most of the people here already do. So we're going to go ahead and fire up this quick little video here. I'm going to say a prayer real quick on quick drag
So
too.
these faces that I've been showing you in the last few videos that are in the etherical or in that mosaic that I was talking about are not only taking place there, but now they're taking shape in our clouds. And with this new filter, I was able to go through some of these pictures and it really makes them pop now. So you can't see it yet. There's an eye here, an eye here. Here's the nose, mouth down below. There's an ear coming back up, the jaw running down, little pointed chin. And this face seems to almost be bisected. One half is like a goblin, and this other half looks like almost like a Wolverine or a Ewok type character. So I'll let you look at that for a minute. And this was pretty faint in the original picture, but now with the filter, it really makes it pop. So hopefully you guys can see that now. And then I'm going to bring you some more. Just real quick here, I wanted to show you the unfiltered version. This is the original right here compared to this one right here, where you can make out a lot better. Okay. Okay, one more. And this one right here, you can make out we have an eye here and an eye right here. Here's the nose, and here's some lips. It looks like he's blowing. You can make out his ear over here, horns and stuff coming up, his eyebrows.
And he's blowing. You can see he's blowing clouds. Spiritual realm is producing the weather.
Yeah, you can see a little bit better. An eye, the nose, the lips. Okay, so I wanted to show you that one with the filter, so you can see it.
All right, so some of these events started taking place here. I'm going to take you on over to my gallery, my photo gallery here. And we'll go to the albums. And, well, we always pull this one up, all right? That's face in the clouds, right? My face in the clouds, all right? So there's that. But what I want to kind of do was go, where's the, oh, it's this one, yeah. Here we go. Some of the other activities, some of the other faces. For instance, this one right here. Okay, see the long nose, the two eyes, the chin. Okay, so there's that face. And these faces keep forming in the clouds wherever I go. Okay, you see this is like the butterfly man here coming together. And that's going forward. The clouds were all scattered like this. And then when I start holding my camera up, they all gel and come together and start making images like this. What, you don't respond when I click on you? Okay. And then this was an interesting one too. Not just human faces, but this is like some kind of bird character with the beak here. Okay, and there's an eye on this side, and there's an eye right here. And he's covering his eye and uncovering it. See the eye? He uncovers it and looks at you. Peekaboo. All right, so this is some of the strange activity that I catch. And then there's this guy again with this character, like the Tom and Jerry mouse on his on top of his head, and he's pulling his eyelids open and forcing this goofball to look. And when he finally sees, his eyes light up and his tongue sticks out. All right, don't ask me why. It's just the stuff that I capture. Here's this bird with this beak again. See this beak and this bird type character right here? Then we had this event with the labor pains, the son actually being the baby. This lady's laying on her back. It's like an alien type lady with how do I zoom again on this? I want to zoom. Oh, I can't on this one. Anyways, the little midwife is like this Rugrats character, and here's her face, and her eyes right there, and her mouth is right here. She's like an ET type character, and every time the baby comes out, her eyes and her mouth open up, and she screams, ah, or breathe, or whatever, as she's going through the labor pains. Here's this one that you saw. Was started out as the wolf huffing and puffing, and then it turned into that face right there. Okay, so this activity is going on in your clouds. You guys think your clouds are just regular clouds. There's a lot more going on than you think. Okay, there's that. So when I tell you these faces in the sky, follow me wherever I go. Here's the Grinch, all right? And here's his nose and his puffy cheeks. Here's the Grinch kind of growing horns here. Well, that didn't work out too well. But you can see I take a lot of pictures of the clouds in the sky. Here was our gift that they just murdered. Yeah, it's terrible. Nothing like it originally was. Okay, so some of them I put into flip books. Here's a video of a rattlesnake. We got rattlesnakes where I live, lots of them. Okay, just the other night when I was doing prayers before the show, I was sitting out on a chair with my feet kind of separated, and a rattlesnake about the size of this one came slithering right in between my feet and slithered away and didn't bite me or anything. And I just looked up and thank you, Lord, for your protection, because clearly, I've killed, 20 some odd of these snakes now, and, they're probably want some payback. And I didn't get bit. Meanwhile, back to some of these faces in the clouds. They're animal faces as well, lion faces and stuff. You see this lion face with the eye here, the eye there, the nose, the mouth. Okay, so this face right there. And there's lots of these faces that follow me everywhere I go. It's, this guy, for instance. This thing popped down out of the clouds. All right, and it's a face. It's got teeth. It's got a freaking row of teeth in it. Pardon my French. Try not to cuss anymore. But look, there's an eyeball with a pupil and teeth and a goatee and a big old long nose and pointed ears. And you can see, here, let me go just a little bit. He's, behind the tree, peeking out from behind the tree. But you can see that this thing dropped down way out of the clouds. The clouds are way up at this level, up at, 15,000 feet. This thing dropped way down out of the clouds and formed a face right there to say, I'm watching you. I watch every move you make. I watch everything you do, everywhere you go. So when I tell you that I have these faces in the clouds that follow me everywhere I go, well, you're looking at them. Now, each one that you have seen are miracles. You're looking at the spiritual realm. These are all miracles. Okay. And maybe people will say, oh, lying signs and wonders. No, these are not lying. These are really signs and wonders. Okay. There's no lying about them. They're real images. Okay. Here's this character, and he was raising his eyebrows at us. Okay. So I took several pictures of that guy and then put them in a flip book. So there's more of these faces that watch, study, and follow everywhere I go. Where's some Warlord, please? Favorites again? No, we covered all those. Yeah, we covered all those. Oh, the Star Wars one. No, not there. Right. There. I'll just show you another face real quick. You guys, most of you have seen all this, but there it is. But we're going over it again anyway.
And
There's Yoda right there. Okay, let me go ahead and just full screen that. Ooh, that's almost too much. Right there's good. Okay, where's my pointer? There's an eye here, an eye there. Yoda's got a stubby little nose and like pudgy little cheeks, stubby little chin right down here. Here's his dome with all the wrinkles in his forehead, his pointed ears coming out. Bing. There's Yoda in the sky right there. All right, it's right there in this image. Okay. You can see the Sierra Nevada mountains in the background. I rolled up to this stoplight to take a picture. I saw this looking at me, watching me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get up to this stoplight and stop and get a picture. So we're going to watch this one really quick here. Got volume.
lots of pictures and not even enough time to process them yet, but here we go. So this one I saw unfolding when I was driving, and I couldn't take a picture until I got to this stoplight. So I squeezed off as many pictures as I could at this stoplight, and we're gonna start zooming in, pulling it over a little bit, and maybe some of you see it now.
Okay, there's Yoda. Now think about Yoda. Who's Yoda? He's a ascended master, right? He's a master who died and ascended to heaven. He's an ascended master who watches and follows and studies my every move. All right, then we also got not just faces in the clouds. We got other kind of weird activity in our clouds too, as far as this.
And you see a longer snout on it. They're the same object. It's the same thing.
Let's go right here.
That I used as a thumbnail.
All right, so you saw the little gold trinket. Here's the cloud. This is the craft, okay? Cloaked in the clouds. And this is an advanced race from the past, okay? A previous society that was advanced thousands of years ago that was here. An advanced civilization from the past that watches, follows, and studies my every move. Okay, I got ascended masters, advanced races from the past that watch and follow and study me. Kind of like you guys. You guys watch, you follow, they're studying. Okay, and I think that was good on faces in the clouds. We covered a bunch of them. You guys saw most of them, right? Okay, good. Because all those faces and stuff were happening, and I'm like, what's going on?
Why? Ensuring our tools are expertly engineered and built to last.
Why is all this stuff happening? All right, so then I see a face forming in the clouds right here. I start snapping pictures of this face. And then later on when I got home, I realized there's more going on.
Howdy folks, welcome back. So snapping some pictures of the clouds yesterday, and I noticed something forming in the clouds, what looked like a face over here. And I'm gonna start zooming in on this face because it's a real face. And if you look back behind it here, let's zoom in just a little bit. You'll notice that back behind here, this face is being projected by Jesus's heart right here. You can see it radiating out. Here's Jesus's face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. His heart's radiating out this image in the sky.
Okay. So there's that. And then later on was me holding a camera, taking pictures of the clouds. So the clouds are now mimicking me, taking pictures of them. Okay. So just the most insane, bizarre stuff happening to me. Well, because of who I am. Then also I want to take you guys, how are we going to do that, Lord? Close that one out and then open up this. Back over here to that World of Signs channel, okay? You guys should go over there and check them out every once in a while. They got some good photos that get sent in. And let's just go ahead and type it in. Oh, there it is. Okay, this channel right here, World of Signs. Over in the community, they post a lot of the pictures that people send in. And a lot of the times they're pictures of clouds. And over here you can see faces in the clouds. All right, but some of these ones I wanted to get to are, look at that one. There's Rick Haynes. Was, oh, not that one. We're almost there, that one. There we go. Just pop it up a little bit because now you can see the halo that's above this head. Okay, it's not just a coincidence there. Okay. My hair's kind of hanging out like a little wave or whatever right now because of my haircut, summertime haircut, and it's captured right there in the cloud. I have kind of an underbite a little bit because, well, we can explain that later. But you see this set of eyes right here looking up at this face? That's your spiritual realm. Look for sets of eyes. There are two clouds that are symmetrical like this that are very apparently eyes all over the place. And you will see them hover above a mountain, and the mountain down below will make out the nose and the mouth. God's got a way of just using all kinds of different ways of showing his presence. All right. So, boom. There's that. And then this very next picture down here. Whoops. Oh, I shouldn't have clicked. Can I go back? Nope. So I'll just have to go back this way. Yeah, dang it. Back down through them all. Because right after that face, that one right there, which is somebody else took, and how funny, it's slow fucking hungry. Well, I walk really slow because I got shattered hips and a cane, so I'm slow, and I haven't eaten in a long, long time, so I'm pretty hungry. But how funny that it's slow fucking hungry. Then we get into this next picture right here. Okay, I'm just going to leave that sit there for a second and let you look around for a minute with your eyes that see. And see if you can find the face or multiple faces that are looking right at you right now. And this activity is all over the place if you know what to look for. Okay, it's not pareidolia. This spiritual realm shows itself in the clouds. Okay, and there's an eye here, eye there, nose here, mouth there. Usually you find the eyes and then the rest of the face will fall into shape. Okay, when you're looking around in the skies, you're looking around, you're like, hey, there's an eye, there's an eye, there's a nose. Hey, there's a face right there too. Did you see that one? There's an eye, a nose. There's a bigger face right there. They're all over the place. They blend in with each other. God likes to use one eye from one and another eye from the other and blend faces together. Okay, so real pictures too, by the way. People sent in, okay? I didn't send this stuff in. This is the dude from Logan County, Ohio on August 19th, which wasn't too long ago, huh? Seeing as we're at August 26th. So this is some of our latest spiritual realm in the cloud activity right here, as well as that one right there on the 20th. So 6 days ago, that happened. Okay. And then I'm showing you other ones from other places too. Uh-oh. An eye. An eye. There's a face right in there. Some of these storm chasers, when they're driving into a storm, they're all looking at the funnel and the structure, cloud structure and everything. I'm looking at the face that's growling at them, looking right down at them. I'm like, there was one in here somewhere. Where'd it go? Oops. I'm sorry, I keep bumming around. You should come over to this channel and check out their little community page, though, because a lot of the spiritual realm in the clouds is being captured by people, and sometimes they don't even know what they're capturing. They're just sending in a regular cloud like this, and lo and behold, it's got something in it. So, okay, so let's go back and just start doing some reading now. Okay, so you guys got a little idea when I tell you I got faces in the clouds that follow me everywhere I go. Well, there's a bunch of them right there that you just saw. Okay, and it's all because of who I am. All right, now I hear you guys loud and clear. Okay, you're really using your prayers. You know that they're being heard, and you're doing it now. That's good, and you're getting progress too, relief, the peace that transcends. Okay, but you have to practice it. You have to strive for it. It doesn't just fall in your lap. If you're having a bad day and you're going to try to salvage it, well, you got to work at it too. It doesn't just like automatically happen. You got to take a moment, pray, take your mind off of the situation, give it to Jesus. That way you are free and relieved to go about your business. Okay. Okay, so we like to just take a moment after all that stuff that we looked at that's very disturbing. That's why this channel is not like any other channel. I show you stuff that's true, that's disturbing, okay? And that's why it's disturbing, is because it's true, and that's why it's important that we take this moment to just rest, okay? And relax and understand why all this stuff is happening, okay? Or not that one. I want our other image, please. Okay, my fish by the moon right there.
J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Oh,
everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas.
Yeah,
Might tell us.
it might, but I doubt if anybody will hear it. Okay, there again is my face right there out by the moon. Okay. All right, take a few deep breaths. I need to too as well. Been a long day for me. So, come to me and rest in my peace. My face is shining upon you in rays of peace, transcending understanding. Instead of trying to figure things out yourself, you can relax in the presence of the one who knows you. As you lean on me in trusting dependence, you feel peaceful and complete. This is how I designed you to live, in close communion with me. So when you are around other people, you tend to cater to their expectations, whether they're real or imagined. You feel enslaved to pleasing them, and your awareness of my presence grows dim. So your efforts to win their approval eventually exhaust you. You offer these people dry crumbs rather than the living water of my spirit flowing through you. This is not my way for you, so stay in touch with me, even during your busiest moments, and let my spirit give you words of grace as you live in the light of my peace. Okay, like that. Leave your outcomes up to me. Follow me wherever I lead without worrying about how it will all turn out. Think of your life as an adventure, with me as your guide and companion. So live in the now, concentrating on staying in step with me. When our paths lead to a cliff, be willing to climb it with my help. Okay? When our paths, we're walking along together and our paths lead to a cliff, don't freak out. You need to be willing. All right? Be willing is a key part of all this. Willing to stop smoking, willing to stop cussing. You know, we're it's not perfection, but we're making progress. You need to be willing. That's your willpower, right? What direction are you going to point your willpower? Where are you willing? All right. So when our path leads to a cliff, you need to be willing to climb that cliff with me. I will help you. Okay. You can't just look at the cliff and go, oh, no, I ain't doing it. Nope, no way. No, you have to be willing. Even if you can't perfect it, at least you're willing. Okay? You're willing to try. You're willing, you don't just stomp your foot and refuse. No, my way. No, you got to be willing to do it my way with my help. So when we come to a resting place, then, like here, take time to be refreshed in my presence. Enjoy the rhythm of life that's when you live it close to me. Okay, a life lived close to me. There's a rhythm to it. So enjoy the rhythm of life lived close to me. A life lived close to me is seeing the world from my perspective, right? You now understand at a higher level. You see the world from my perspective. That's living close to me. So now you may enjoy the rhythm of life. The rhythm of a life lived close to me. You already know the ultimate destination of your journey. Here's your entrance into heaven right there. So keep your focus on the path that's just before you, leaving the outcomes up to me. Okay? You're doing well at focusing on the path just before you, but sometimes you got to leave the outcomes up to me. Not always is the outcome that you expected or the one that you wanted. It's one that I wanted for you, so you will grow. And you got to be willing to climb with my help, okay? when you do that, when you're working all these steps and you're finding peace, you're finding courage, when you're actually trying this and having success, I am pleased with you. That makes you my child. I am pleased with you, my child. Allow yourself to become fully aware of my pleasure shining upon you. My pleasure also shining upon you. Okay? It's not all adversity and stuff. There's good times too. There's pleasure shining upon you as well. Okay? Because I am pleased with you when you believe me and you take the steps in your spiritual warfare walk, right? Okay. Allow yourself to become fully aware of my pleasure shining upon you. You don't have to perform well in order to receive my love. Okay? You don't have to perform well in order to receive my love. I like people that believe me. You know, something happened to you and you went to your closest friend. You're like, hey, something happened. And they didn't believe you. You're like, no, 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 no. You're my close friend. You're the one I confide in. And they're like, I don't believe you. Well, no, you need to. You're my close friend. I'm trying to confide in you, and they don't believe you. Well, I'm pleased with the people that believe me. That makes you my child. And I am pleased with you when you get the peace, when you get this and you practice it and you find that peace. That's I'm pleased. Okay. I'm pleased with your success. You then become my child. Okay. And you don't have to perform well in order to receive my love. In fact, a performance focus will pull you away from me and towards some sort of, well, idolatry, or almost like a Pharisee type mindset. Your performance focus. Okay, we're doing salvage work. You're doing well, but don't make the salvage work your total focus, because you'll make daily salvage work your idol. So don't hold too tightly onto that. Remember, hold tightly onto that. And the way you can hold tightly onto that is by practicing your salvage work each day. Okay. And when you find success, I'm pleased with you. Okay. Again, you don't have to perform well to receive my love. Performance focus will pull you away from me, and it becomes an idolatry. And this can be a subtle form of idolatry, worshiping your own good works. Okay, so be careful. You're doing good, but be careful not to worship your own good works, because then that turns into an idolatry. It can also be a source of deep discouragement when your works don't measure up to your expectations. Ooh, did that sting? I'm sorry, but a lot of your discouragement comes when your works don't measure up to your expectations. It causes deep discouragement, doesn't it? Well, because they're your expectations and they're your works. You need to shift your focus from your performance to my radiant presence. The light of my love shines on you continually, regardless of your feelings or behavior. Your responsibility is to be receptive to this unconditional love. Okay? Not too hard. Not too hard to be receptive to somebody that loves you. Is it? It shouldn't be. So, when your works don't measure up to your expectations and you feel discouraged, you need to shift your focus from your performance to my presence. When you do that, the light of my love shines on you continually, regardless of your feelings and behavior. Your responsibility is to be receptive to that unconditional love. And thankfulness and trust are your primary receptors. So thank me for everything, trust in me at all times, and these simple disciplines will keep you open to my loving presence. Don't they? They do. And that's why you're still here. That's why you're here. What was that last one I wanted for the closer? Where'd that go? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go back to this really quick. These ones here. I want to shift down to this one right here, so it's not at an angle. You can kind of see it more. You can see the crown a little more defined, the hair flowing back a little bit. The hill's at an angle, but the face is more straight there. Okay, so we're going to close with this one. We're talking about thankfulness is the connection, right? When you're thanking me, then it takes you out of your situation. Your situation seems menial when compared to this, right? Okay, so that thankfulness helps. And when you thank me throughout each day for my presence and peace, and you find that these are gifts. These are gifts of supernatural proportions too. And ever since the resurrection, I have comforted my followers with these messages. Peace be with you, and I am always with you. I am with you always, right now and always. Okay? The gifts are supernatural proportions. My followers know the messages, peace be with you, and they understand that I am with you always. Now listen, as I offer you my peace and presence in full measure. This is my peace in my presence right here, right now, in full measure, isn't it? The best way to receive these glorious gifts is to thank me for them. It is impossible to spend too much time thanking and praising me. I created you first and foremost to glorify me. Thanksgiving and praise put you in proper relationship with me, opening the way for my riches to flow into you. Do you guys feel my riches flowing into you? You do, because you have a relationship with me. Your thanksgiving throughout the day takes your mind off your problems. You praise, you're thankful that it worked. It puts you in that relationship with me, doesn't it? You're knowing that it's working. All of a sudden, you're like, hey, this guy's for real. It's working. I do have a relationship with him. And once you have that relationship with me, doesn't that open the way for my riches, for you to see this image and grasp how I got to this point and where you guys are, at what point you guys are at? Okay? It's impossible to spend too much time thanking. All right? It's not about stroking my ego. When you thank me, it takes your mind off your problem. That's what thanking me does. It helps you. Did you know that? And it's impossible to spend too much time thanking me. It's impossible to spend too much time helping your mental state. That thanksgiving and that praise puts you in the proper perspective. It puts you in a relationship with me. You, when you're thanking, that admits that I exist. You believe me. That opens the way for my riches, for these images to flow into you. Otherwise, they just look like clouds, right? So, thanksgiving and praise put you in that perspective, that relationship with me, opening the way for my riches to flow into you. Now, as you thank me for my presence and my peace, you receive my richest gifts. Don't you? That's why you guys are here, same time with me at this point every night, because you are indeed receiving that rich gift of my presence and my peace. And it was because your thanksgiving opened the way for my riches to flow into you. Okay, these are gifts of supernatural proportions. They're not natural. They are above natural. They are supernatural. Those images are of supernatural proportions. All of these faces in the clouds, even this little smiley face, see the lion right there? Even this little character right here, this little smiley face dude popping out right here. They're all gifts. They're my richest gifts that bring you peace. And when you know that I am now with you, then peace can be with you. It's awesome how this works. Okay. I think that might cover it for tonight. I sure love you guys, man. You guys are awesome. I went through all kinds of mental institutions and crazy farms, all because everybody says, "What? You see Jesus in the clouds?" I said, "No, I captured images where you can see Jesus in the clouds." "Oh, you're seeing Jesus in the clouds, huh?" No. See, they don't listen carefully. And then they've neglected to come over and look because their excuse was, "Oh, we can't indulge your delusion." I'm like, it's not a delusion, it's the real thing, and you're not indulging it. If you did indulge it, you might find something, Doc. And, well, let's just say through this hellacious process, I was able to help a lot of doctors, a lot of other inmates and stuff along the way, you know. So I see why it happened, and I understand because I learned a lot from it, and now I'm able to share that valuable experience with you. All right. I love you guys. I miss you guys. And until my next show, I will be back. I'm a man of my word. I told you I would be back. Well, I'm back. This is me in the clouds, coming with great power and great glory. Okay. You're here looking at this. It's fascinating. You're learning all kinds of stuff. You're caught up in this live stream like you're caught up in a good book. You're caught up in this live stream like you're caught up in a TikTok flurry. It takes you away from your circumstances at the moment, and you're caught up with me in the clouds. I would love to come over and give you a big old hug, but I'm almost paralyzed, so I can't. But I can meet you in the air of cyberspace. So I like to meet my family in the air. So if you're caught up with me in the clouds and we met in the air of cyberspace, you are what they would call raptured, but that's not in the Bible. Okay, many people are going to be disappointed. I keep hearing this all over the place. It should be happening right now. It should be any day, any moment, the rapture, any moment. The rapture been going on for 6 and almost 7 full years now. Nobody's even paid attention or even looked up. They're too worried if it's post, pre, trib. What, you don't even know what tribulation is. Tribulation is going through hard times in your life, right? It's not a necessary 7-year period. I bet you for the last 7 years, you've probably been going through some tribulation, haven't you? I know I have. So, it, you know what? I'm not going to spell it out anymore. You guys get it. I love you. I miss you. I'm back. I'm a man of my word. I said I would be back, and now I'm back. And you guys get the peace that comes with that, okay? The courage that comes with that, the foundation that comes with that, the rock. If you're having issues, fall back, lean on me. Lean on the rock, lean on your foundation. It's a foundation you can build on that won't fall apart and erode in the sand. Okay, this is a gift that's worth more than gold. Okay, there's so much. If you really think about it, there's so much here for you. Okay, and I give this freely as a gift because I want to see my children succeed. I want you to go out there and practice these disciplines and have success and relief and peace. And when that peace comes, you're going to go, you know what? Thank you, Jesus. Now I see what you mean. Now that I gave it a try and it worked, I see what you mean. And now I take you even more seriously. Okay? It's hard when you have something that's true and no one believes you. It can be a real test of your character, okay? And I've been tested. I still get tested each day, okay? And every lesson that I go through each day, I bring it to you hot off the street in my notes, in the readings, so you guys can take what I learned or what I experienced today and apply it right away in your life, okay? Give it a try. You got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Comes from a place of love. Okay. I love you. I miss you. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. And I'm soon to come too. Bye.